Mikaela, we're here in Las Vegas. You're training ahead of April the 15th, fighting in London at the Copper Box. How are you feeling? How's the training going?
Training's going well. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm just ready to get back in there and prove that I'm still the best.
Second fight in a row out in the UK. We know you're a big fan of the UK fans, Spice Girls, etc. You must be looking forward to getting back on the getting back across the pond.
Yeah, I really wanted to fight in the UK again. I did so much work in the lead up to my last fight out there, especially going out there twice because the Queen had passed. And I wanted to continue that momentum and just capitalize on all the work that I did because I feel like I did so much to sell that fight. And in the process, I made a lot of fans. And so I just want to get back out there, put on another great performance. Plus, the fans are a lot more energetic out there.
And for this fight, you're going up in weight. You take on a former world champion at the weight above the weight that you're fighting at super lightweight. So you're fighting at lightweight this time. Linardatou. I'm sorry that I'm butchering the name. She's from Greece. What do you know about her? How do you think the fight's going to go?
Yeah, she's a tough opponent. When I came out of that last fight, I immediately called my promoter and I said, and my manager, and I said, get me a fight ASAP and get it against a top contender. I want a quality opponent. I don't want any easy fights. I don't want any filler fights, nothing like that. I'm in my prime and I want to go against the best and get myself back in position for my belts. And so Linardatou was at the top of our list with Delphine Pursoon. Couldn't get the fight with Delphine, so we went with Linardatou, who is a former world champion, obviously really aggressive and strong. Her only two losses are to Katie Taylor and Delphine Pursoon. So yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, you had a bit of a frustrating year last year for a number of reasons. The Queen passing, so your fight got moved, and then suffering a very tight loss. What's the plan for 2023 and forward in the future?
Honestly, the plan hasn't changed. I've always been about taking on the best, making big fights for the fans, challenging myself against top quality opponents. And obviously, I want to get the belts back, but in the process, I don't want the easy way. I want to fight top contenders. That's like my number one thing, is to put on great fights. And so in the process of doing that, I'll put myself back in position for hopefully a world title fight against the world champion in my division right now, which is Katie Taylor. I'm at 135 now, so whatever division I'm in, I'm gunning for the champion. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to do whatever I can to get in line for a fight with Katie.
And obviously you're fighting as the chief support to Joe Joyce against Zhilei Zhang. You've actually just seen Zhilei come and confront Joe in the gym. And what do you think? They're both big lads.
Yeah, they're both really big. No, it should be a great fight. It's kind of a coincidence that Joe Joyce is out here in Vegas training as well, so that's fun. But Zhang is good. Coach Al trained with Zhang a little bit because we used to work with the Chinese team. My coach, Coach Al. So, but I don't know. I think I'm Team Joe Joyce.
Give me a prediction. What do you think is going to happen? Are we going to hear the final bell?
I don't know. Ask me closer to the fight. I'm gonna take my time and come up with a solid prediction for this fight. But these are some big guys, so I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna make it to the end of the fight. I don't know if it's gonna go 12 rounds.
Well, I'll definitely be catching up with you in London. And thank you very much for your time, and best of luck in the training. See you in London April 15th.
Yep. Thanks. Can't wait, guys.
In boxing, the heavyweight division always hits the hardest. Whilst Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk hold all the jewels, one contender stands alone as the biggest threat to the champions.
Everybody else is scared of you!
A man who has not once tasted defeat, who knows no backward step and never retreats, who crushes whatever stands at his feet.
Joe Joyce by knockout!
They call him the Juggernaut. Unbeaten, Joe Joyce is on a mission to become the heavyweight king with his granite chin, thudding power and relentless engine. It is only a matter of time before this Olympic silver medalist gets his hands on the gold. Or is it? Whilst the Juggernaut has steamrolled his way to mandatory challenger, there is now a great wall that stands in his way. A gigantic block that nobody has yet to truly climb over. The Big Bang. Zhilei Zhang has been watching, waiting, wanting, just like Joyce. He has silver, he plans to make gold. Power, punch resistance, heart. A colossus that should have his own position in the queue to the world's heavyweight championship. That was unfairly taken from him. On Saturday, April 15th, two giants collide as unbeaten heavyweight juggernaut Joe Joyce takes on Zhilei Big Bang Zhang at London's Copper Box Arena. Only one giant will be left standing.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Press Conference Day here in London. We've got a magnificent show this Saturday night. It's live on BT Sport here in the UK and it's live on ESPN Plus in the States. The main event, we'll be speaking to those guys very shortly, and the chief support. We already know what that's going to be. Joe Joyce against Zhilei Zhang, two heavyweight giants slugging it out with the WBO interim heavyweight title on the line. The chief support bout, the return of Mikaela Mayer taking on Christina Mayer-Linardatou, who's a former world champion herself. But as you can see from this top table, this is turning into one of the cards of the year. And we're going to have a little chat to everyone involved here. We've got title fights, we've got a little glimpse into the future of boxing as well. Down at lightweight, there's a Commonwealth and WBC International Silver Lightweight Championship on the line as unbeaten Sam Noakes takes on unbeaten Karthik Kumar. We've got the British Middleweight Championship on the line. Denzel Bentley defends against Kieran Smith. And then we've got a glimpse of the future of the heavyweight division, Moses Italma. We're going to speak to everyone, and you've just got to make sure you watch this on Saturday night. Of course, on the top table is manager now, Francis Warren, and a couple of your charges who you're sat in between. Before we speak to Moses Italma, deemed by many to be the future of the heavyweight division, let's get a word from you, because I think you're one of those who's saying he is the future of the heavyweight division.
Thank you, Dev. Yes, I certainly am. Firmly believe that Moses is the future of the heavyweight division. Moses and I have we started this journey together at the beginning of the year. He's now 2-0, and he's coming from strength to strength. Two very, very quick stoppages in his first two fights, which were 4-rounders. Makes a step up this Saturday against a very tricky Ukrainian fella who's actually got a couple of great draws on his record.
Performances,
great performances on his record against took Kosabutski the distance and Rudenko the distance. So, it's certainly a step up, and Moses has got he's got to be on his A game. It's obviously a very, very much a long-term plan for Moses, and it's these foundation fights that are vitally important to him, to his development. He's got to make sure he grabs the opportunities to make the most of the experiences with both hands and soak up the atmosphere and enjoy his first year as a pro, because it will be very, very, very quickly down to serious business.
Very active as well. This is, as I think you mentioned there, this is his third fight in the space of 4 months. There's talk of him fighting 8 times a year, which could mean end of next year you could be with a 16-0 heavyweight. Is that sort of the plan?
Well, that's what we've agreed, isn't it? You know, that's what we've agreed with Queensberry. 8 fights a year. It's going to be we've had the 2 4s, it'll be 2 6s, 2 8s, and then we're going to evaluate whether we want to move up to the 10 rounders in fight number 7. But that is the plan. Obviously, it's fight by fight. You know, we're not in a massive rush. We've got an ambition. Moses has got a massive ambition to beat Mike Tyson's 30-year-old record of becoming the youngest ever heavyweight world champion. But it is that. It's an ambition. It's not, you know, and it's a goal and it's an aim. And who is anybody to tell him he can't have that ambition? But it's our job to make sure that, you know, the right fights come at the right time. The progression is professional, not, you know, chicken head, headless chicken. It's not, you know, we're not here just to set a record. We're here to forge a fantastic heavyweight career and make sure that Moses reigns supreme at the top of heavyweight division for a long, many years to come.
Nicely said, Francis. Well, let's hear from the man himself, 18 years old, won everything he could win as a youth amateur. Moses Itauma, this is fight number 3 coming up for you. How are you feeling heading into this one?
It's the same old, isn't it? Like, obviously I had training camp's gone well and just ready to rock and roll on Saturday.
Bit of a step up in terms of opponent. I mean, the first couple, we've seen you for about a minute, including the referee's count. This guy has never been knocked out, so we may well see a bit more of you, or will we? What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's a step up in obviously my opponents, but obviously I don't know who the fella is, but I know he in his 20 fights he's never been stopped. So if I get him out of there, that would be a big statement.
After the first couple of wins, you know, when prospects win their first couple of fights, especially by knockout, you normally see them celebrating. You know, normally at least see them smiling.
No,
you looked a bit annoyed.
Yeah, no, I was annoyed. It's all the hard work you put into training and whatnot. Obviously, for a fight that only goes 30 seconds, you kind of do get annoyed with it.
Big card as well. Joe Joyce, of course, who you've done countless rounds of sparring with. He's headline. It's live on BT Sport here in the UK, ESPN Plus in America as well. Is it a bit of a chance to show the world who you are on Saturday?
Yeah, of course. It's like I said, if I get him out of there, it's a big statement. But if I don't, maybe I can show my skills.
And how often do you think about this record? Francis referenced it there. I know it's a long-term goal to become the youngest ever world heavyweight champion, but how often do you actually think about this?
Surprisingly, I actually don't. I always think about my next fight because there ain't going to be no record if I don't win my next fight. So.
Okay, rightly so. Well said. So a knockout coming Saturday night, 3-0 with 3 knockouts. Is that what we're looking at, Moses?
God willing.
Thank you very much, Moses Itauma. Francis, I'm going to come back to you because the young man sat next to you. Every time I mention him to you, your face lights up. Sam Noakes taking on Karthik Kumar here. He's 10-0. He's 10-0. Give us a little bit of info about this fight.
Well, Sam's a knockout machine, isn't he? And you know, I say to everyone who listened that Sam's the nicest guy in boxing until fight night. Well, actually, until weigh-in day.
Until you actually meet me.
until weigh-in day.
He's not much disagree with that comment, mate.
He's not much fun on a weigh-in day, but you know, on fight night he's a monster. You know, once you get hit, you stay hit. And you know, he's got big ambitions, but again, you know, it's definitely a work in progress. We've seized a couple of opportunities to pick up a few titles. Along the way in his short career. The ambition for this year, you know, it's going to be the British title by the end of the year. You know, I think we're going to go along that traditional route and, you know, look at the European in, you know, early to mid 2024.
It's a stunning record that he's got as well with the 10-0 with 10 knockouts. It's 100%. There's not many fighters get there. Normally they get to around 5, 6, and then someone takes them the distance or whatnot. Do you want to see him extended the distance at some point just to get it in the bank?
Well, Sam's had some rounds. You know, it's not like they're all, you know, 1s and 2s and 3-round knockouts. And Sam's looking at me thinking, you know, I don't get paid time. You know, get paid for overtime.
I want him to do the rounds. Don't care about me that much, does he?
But you know, he's had I think he had an 8 or a 9 rounder in one of them. Yeah, so you know, it's 9 round, and he's still there. He's still, you know, he's starting to use his skills a lot more. He's not just charging in. And you know, if he can carry on developing under Alan Smith the way he has done over the last few years, I think we're going to have a very well-rounded boxer with devastating knockout power, which will be, you know, competition for anyone eventually worldwide.
That's what we all want. That's what we all want. Well, let's hear from the challenger, Karthik Kumar. This is a huge moment for you, a huge stage. Tell us where your head's at. What are you thinking heading into the biggest fight of your career on Saturday?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm glad to be here. You know, so you prepared it really well. Already we are making seen someone's having a good skill, and as I have done more than 70 plus fights in amateur, and I have played my youth world championship, I reached quarterfinal, and have done really good professional career 4 years. So it's going to be really toe-to-toe fight. So I'm, hoping for best.
Toe-to-toe fight. Does that mean you're going to stand and have a war with him?
Yes, of course. I'm going
Good
to have
for
it.
that. I'm glad you said that.
Oh,
Glad you said that.
let's
I didn't
see
wanna
in the
touch
ring,
your
bro.
back.
Karthik, this is a big step up in level for you. Sam Noakes, unbeaten and he's knocked out everybody. What makes you think that you are ready for this step up in level?
So he's a good fighter. I have watched to make the game plans, everything, as I know about my ability and my skills, So we are going to work on my skills to take the fight more deeper into, rounds and rounds. That's our, game plan. And yes, as I told, I'm glad to be here, to fight. And it's a time for me to showcase myself.
What do you make of his power? Does it make you nervous? When you see it written down, 100% knockout rate, what do you think when you see that?
It's a boxing, right? So we need to take the power to give the power back. So it's all about the sports of the boxing, I'm ready to do it, I'm ready for the war. And I'm here to make the war and win the war.
Okay, well, thank you, Karthik. I'm sure we'll come back to you for a final message to Sam. Sam, it sounds like Karthik is here and ready for a war. I'm pretty sure I heard him say he wants to stand and have a bit of a trade-up with you.
Well, I hope he holds to that word and stands there and has a flare-up. Do you know what I mean? You know me, Dev. I'm going for that. So we'll see anyway. I mean, talk is cheap. So, listen, I mean, I respect him coming over and obviously train real hard for this fight and obviously listen your game. So it's going to be great for the fans. So make sure you tune in and watch it.
It's the first time, Sam, you've got a couple of belts on the line now. You've got the Commonwealth and you've got your WBC bauble as well. A bit of extra pressure there. Now you become a bit of a champ.
I mean, listen, there's always pressure anyway. I mean, even when you think we forget about the belts, it's winning or losing at the end of the day, innit? I don't think, I've got to keep my belts. I was just winning is number one priority. So the pressure's still the same, but the training's increased. The camp's been unreal, Dev. Sparring's been great, and I'm looking forward to getting in there Saturday, get tomorrow out of the way, and then I think it's going to be a really good fight.
Look, we talk about this record, right? This 10-0 with 10 knockouts, and I mentioned there to Francis as well. Normally, prospects get to 5, 6, 7, then they get taken the distance by someone. Something happens. Why are you different? What's going on?
I don't know, Dev. Maybe I just I couldn't put it on. I don't know. I'm not that arrogant enough that I mean, well, this is what it is. I mean, listen, I haven't got quit in me, and I mean, like, I don't think it's going to go 12 rounds. I mean, listen, you might drag me into 10 rounds, but there's another 2 to go at the end of that. So I'm fully going into this confident, and I want to keep this KO streak going. So I can't single what it is. It's just me, Dev. It's just me. Must be the water down in Maidstone or something like that, mate. Because even though it's from over the hill from me, but it's same old, doesn't
it? Yeah, Moses lives very close and also hits people very hard. I live close too, and I haven't got the
maybe maybe you're in the wrong job. You're on swap seats, Dev.
Definitely not. Karthik, let's get a final message from yourself to Sam Noakes. What have you got to say to him? Look him in the eye and tell him something.
Bro, I think you never fought with any skillful fighter till now. You're 10-0, right? So it's going to be really good fight for you, and I'm not going to be easy for you. Right?
No, I have no doubt you're not going to be able to me, my friend. I have no doubt. I'm not overlooking you.
Yeah, so I'm there to, give you equal amount of power and speed. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, mate, looking forward to it.
Yes,
brilliant.
Yes.
Fantastic. WBC International Silver and Commonwealth Lightweight titles on the line Saturday night, live on BT Sport. And we still got some verbals going on.
Oh, no, I forgot the mic was there.
I was hoping
to fight, but I ain't the brightest.
Well, let's talk about the British middleweight title scrap. The gentleman sat either side of me. We'll start with Kieran Smith. You are the challenger. When we spoke a couple of weeks ago, you said that this is an opportunity you've been working your whole career towards. Tell me what this opportunity and what this fight means to Kieran Smith.
This opportunity is absolutely everything to me. It's like I've already said, it's where we've been working towards for so long, and I believe this is my time now.
You've said that a few times. You said this is your time. Why? Why do you feel this is the right time for Kieran Smith to become British middleweight champion?
I've matured for super welterweight. I've matured as a fighter into middleweight, and I just believe that I'm not as hot-headed anymore. I don't make as many mistakes. The pedigrees came in the gym. We've just drilled stuff relentlessly.
And what do you think of Denzel Bentley here? He's the British middleweight champion. He's the man who has the gold that you want. What do you make of him?
Yeah, Denzel's a good fighter. That's exactly why he's British middleweight champion. But I'm here to upset that.
When we spoke a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Denzel's fight with Janibek, a fight with which he received a lot of plaudits. He performed very well in that world title fight. And you said something to me, which I don't know if Denzel will agree with or not. You said that you believe that Janibek performed within himself and perhaps held back a bit so he could entice bigger names to the table. Do you still believe that?
I think, yeah, I believe that Janibek performed within himself so that he can get big fights. If you look at a lot of these Eastern European fighters, they do the same thing when they can't get the big fights.
Well, we'll get Denzel's thoughts on that shortly, but tell me this, what advantages do you have in this fight with Denzel Bentley on Saturday night?
He struggles with southpaws. I'm a southpaw, 6'2", I can box, I can move my feet.
Well, let's bring in the champion, Denzel Bentley. You've heard a few things there from Kieran Smith, and of course, look, it's just good to see you're about to fight again rather than punditry, commentary, where you've become a bit of a regular on BT Sport now. Good to see you pick up the gloves again, and how are you feeling heading into that, and what's your reaction to Kieran's comments?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, I'm ready for Saturday, really. Oh yeah, Kieran's comments. I don't know, maybe he spoke to Janibek and Janibek told him he was holding back a bit, but other than that, he would know what Janibek was doing in that fight. He is southpaw, he is slick. I've only fought one southpaw, so to say I struggle against southpaws is, yeah, I don't know, maybe a bit harsh, but we'll find out on Saturday.
Well, look, this is, you've boxed at world level now. You performed very well in that Janibek fight. How much confidence has that given you heading into this fight in particular with Kieran Smith?
I'm confident anyway. I'm sure you know that. I'm confident anyway. I was confident going into that fight. That fight just showed me, the level that I'm capable at boxing at and competing at. So, it's not really going to give me any more confidence than I already had. It just showed me that, what I thought of myself was true, but I can do better. So that's what I'm going to do, better.
Are you a level above Kieran Smith?
Yeah, I've competed at a level above him, so you could say that. But at the end of the day, it's not like I conquered that level, that world level. I'm back at a British level, which I'm excited to be at, defending my title. And we'll find out on Saturday. All the words are just words, you know what I'm saying? You've got to put into action in a couple of days, so that's the good thing about this.
Well, I'm not going to get too many more words out of you, but tell me what you think you do better than Kieran Smith.
Quite a lot, but we'll find out on Saturday, man. There's all this talking, there's just talking, man, but it's nice that in a couple of days we get to put it to action.
Yes, we do. Kieran, anything you want to tell Denzel? Did you have secret chats with Janibek about his performance?
No, I never had any secret chats, unfortunately. But just be ready Saturday night.
And Denzel, over to you.
Oh, you say be there Saturday?
I say be ready Saturday night.
Oh yeah, come on, man. We've been training for how long? Of course I'm ready.
Well, there you go. We've got a lot of fighters that are going to be ready. This is the undercard on Saturday night. We cannot wait for this. We're live on BT Sport from 7 o'clock. And, of course, we're on ESPN Plus in the States. Title fights galore. And we've got the future of the heavyweight division too. We'll be back very shortly for the main event press conference. But first, let's get some face-offs.
Good, Steve. Cameras, please. Cameras, good. Thank you. Can we face off one more time, please, guys? All right, thank you. Okay. guys. Thank you. So Sam and Kartik. Can we look at the cameras first, please?
Yeah, cameras first. That camera down there, yeah? So just move the glasses. Ready? Face off.
That's great, yes.
Game this one, boys.
Done?
All done? Right, thanks guys.
That's it guys, thank you.
No, all done. Thank you. We'll be back in 5 minutes for the next one. Oh, Moses, well done, Moses. Sorry, guys. Right, back again. One out. Oh, sorry. Oh, you've done it already.
Sorry, oh shit. Right, do you want to sort this out? So
Joyce over that side, Ken over that side, Callum over that side.
Co-feature.
Make sure these are the right way around, please, Chris. Yes. And then
so we've sort of run out here.
Need one more chair. Oh, shit, we need one more chair.
So, Adam Morley. Don't you want?
Yes, mate.
One more chair.
Yes.
Do you have one?
We've got a handheld we can use at the end.
Yeah.
Don't we need 2 more chairs? No, but chairs. Yeah. See, I haven't got a chair at the moment.
So we need one more chair for Dev.
And for the translator. But he needs to be able to tell him what's going on.
Yeah, we'll be sitting just behind you. Just be
On a chair, yeah? So where's Joyce?
Joyce there,
Just need chairs, don't we? And also, Kurt's going to be yeah, okay. Kurt, that's the idea. So yeah, I think we need two. So we need one here. Yeah. And then we need one just lifting behind Zhilei Zhang when he's translating.
Cool, so you just put one more of these, yeah?
In boxing, the heavyweight division always hits the hardest. Whilst Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk hold all the jewels, one contender stands alone as the biggest threat to the champions.
Everybody else is scared of you!
A man who has not once tasted defeat, who knows no backward step and never retreats, who crushes whatever stands at his feet.
Joe Joyce by knockout!
They call him the Juggernaut. Unbeaten, Joe Joyce is on a mission to become the heavyweight king with his granite chin, thudding power and relentless engine. It is only a matter of time before this Olympic silver medalist gets his hands on the gold. Or is it? Whilst the Juggernaut has steamrolled his way to mandatory challenger, there is now a great wall that stands in his way. A gigantic block that nobody has yet to truly climb over. The Big Bang. Zhilei Zhang has been watching, waiting, wanting, just like Joyce. He has silver, he plans to make gold. Power, punch resistance, heart. A colossus that should have his own position in the queue to the world's heavyweight championship. That was unfairly taken from him. On Saturday, April 15th, two giants collide as unbeaten heavyweight juggernaut Joe Joyce takes on Zhilei Big Bang Zhang at London's Copper Box Arena. Only one giant will be left standing.
We need you to translate, obviously, and tell Zhilei what's being said. There would be good, because then, whilst things are being said, you can be like, Joe Joyce has said this, because otherwise he won't know, will he? We got you this mic as well.
Where's Matt? We need a glass for Joe. I need some glasses.
Luke.
Can you get some glasses? Yeah.
Mr. Zhang, this will be you.
Joe's not going to want.
Kurt, this will be you here behind Zhilei.
An unopened one.
So, Zhilei, you sit in first. You tuck yourself in. So, if you just sort of slip behind. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit tiny.
Top mate. Frank.
Hey Dev, does that look good?
Well, I mean, another option is you could kneel.
For another chair.
Well, we've got enough chairs. It's just very, very tight up there. All right, you going to be okay? Yeah. So that will be your mic where you talk into. But what I'd like you to do, whilst Joe Joyce is talking, tell what he's saying.
At that time.
Yeah, just like whisper, like he's saying this. Then at least he can keep track of what's being said.
I know, right? And Dad.
Have I?
Yeah,
That's the nicest thing you've ever said. When I'm ready, yeah? Sorry. Okay. Well, is that working? Is that a functional mic? Does it sound functional? There we go. Now we have a functioning mic. I'll tell you, we got two very functioning heavyweights in action on Saturday night. Welcome to the final press conference ahead of an absolute monster this Saturday night, live on BT Sport here in the UK and ESPN Plus in the US. We've got two of the biggest heavyweights, two of the best heavyweights, two of the hardest hitting heavyweights in an absolutely cracking encounter for the WBO interim heavyweight championship. Zhilei Big Bang Zhang, Olympic silver medalist, takes on Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, also Olympic silver medalist. We've got two Olympic silver medalists who are chasing gold as heavyweights. We've got a brilliant co-feature bout, the return of Mikaela Mayer taking on former world champion Christina Mayer-Linardatou. And we're going to have a chat with everyone, including the Queensberry CEO, who I'm going to start with, George Warren. A fantastic card, thanks. And talk us through it.
It's a great night of boxing. I'm delighted to be able to promote these two great heavyweights. This guy to my right wants to be considered in that conversation when people talk about the elite and the heavyweight division, and he deserves to be. He doesn't say no to challengers, takes on all fights. He's one of the easiest guys to deal with that we've ever come across. Took on Joseph Parker when he didn't have to. Joseph was number 2 with the WBO, but Joe was already the WBO mandatory, but stepped up, wanted a big fight, wanted to show that he can hang with the best in the division, and emphatically beat him in what was a great night. Maybe took a few too many punches, and we sometimes have to deal with that and cope with that with Joe. But again, doesn't shy away from a challenge. He's very close to getting a shot of the full version or a big fight in the summer. That's what we're all focusing on. But instead of sitting around or taking an easy fight, Zhilei is here. And Zhilei is here to win this fight. He's coming off the back of a fight that I think inarguably he won against Filip Hrgović. He didn't get the decision. I think he was unfortunate that night. As you say, 2 Olympic silver medalists, 2 great people to work with, 2 great teams that we've got up here. The lanes have been fantastic, and this fight is going to deliver. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be explosive. But I'm confident that Joe comes through and announces himself yet again that he is, without doubt, one of the best heavyweights in the world.
Fantastic, George, and a brilliant co-feature bout here as well with Mikaela Mayer. Thanks to our friends at Top Rank who we're working with. A word on this fantastic WBC interim lightweight title fight.
It's great to have it. It's it's a real privilege to be up here with Christina and Mikaela, and I wish them both the best of luck. It's nice for me to be able to sit there, not promotionally involved with either fighter, and just sit back and relax and watch what I think will be a really entertaining, exciting fight, featuring two female fighters that are legitimately world class. We've got the fight on with Top Rank. It was part of our relationship and deal with them for the ESPN Plus broadcast of this in the United States. Our thanks to Top Rank for that, and our thanks as well to DeBella Entertainment, obviously bringing the opponent here for Mikaela. So this has come about again from our ability as a broadcaster with BT Sport and ourselves as Queensberry, working with multiple different promotional companies to deliver big nights for boxing fans. And we've got this on Saturday night. Great undercard. I'm really excited to see Denzel back. Did himself no disservice in that performance against Janabek out in Vegas. I think if he'd started that fight a bit quicker, he could have nicked that fight. You know, really showed that he's a deserving, very, very capable middleweight, and he's got his hands full in a very tough fight. I'm not going to go too much onto the undercard because we've already done the undercard press conference, but I'm really excited about Moses again, seeing him out, and obviously Sam Noakes as well. So there's some great action. It's going to be a great night for the people there in the arena. If you're not there, watch this on BT Sport. You're going to see a great night of boxing. Two big, heavy-hitting heavyweights that are going to go for it, a lot on the line. And for me, I think it's a knockout, and I think this man gets it.
Well, there we go. Let's speak to Christina Linardatou. Welcome, Christina. A big fight for you. Tell us how you're feeling heading into your fight with Mikaela Mayer Saturday night here in the UK.
I feel great, as I told you the other days.
You feel great?
Yes, I'm so happy for my coming back. I already did the fight after giving birth, but this is the first big fight, and I'm very excited that it's again Mikaela, which is a very tough opponent, a very tough fighter.
What do you think of her as a fighter? You say that she's tough. She's a tough opponent. Is she someone that you've been watching? You've been keeping an eye on as maybe a future fight? What do you think of her?
I have keeping an eye on her for years now. It's not now. I'm keeping an eye on all my possible rivals. Sorry about my English, but yes, I'm keeping an eye on all of them. Women that I can fight from 130 to 140.
Well, you faced off at the Grand Arrivals for the first time. You came face to face. And I spoke to Mikaela afterwards, and she said she thought that you looked nervous. Mikaela, feel free to jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure you will. But she said that you looked a bit nervous. What do you think? Were you nervous? What did you think when you looked at Mikaela?
I don't think I did look nervous. This is all that. I was thinking she was trying to find the nerves inside of me, like looking in my eye, like. But I'm not. I'm more calm. I'm more better than any other time because of the process. Because it was difficult to be again in the condition that I was before. So it's the process makes you stronger and no nerves.
No nerves. Well, tell me this. You have boxed at higher weights. You are a former two-time world champion at 140 pounds. What advantages do you think you have over Mikaela on Saturday?
What advantages? Both strong, both fast. I don't know what exactly to tell you. I only know that I feel very, very strong. I feel very, very fast. I think I'm faster. I think my defenses, that stuff. That's my favorite one, defenses, But yes, that's what I think. My defenses and my speed.
Okay, well, thank you, Christina. Let's bring in Mikaela Mayer here. You welcome. I mean, you wanted to come back to the UK. Your last fight was in the UK. You had a choice. You could have stayed out in the States, but we're glad to have you back. Tell us why you chose this fight. Tell us why you chose Christina as well.
I like fighting in the UK. I like the fans here. The energy they bring to the arena is always really great, and they're just fun. They're just a lot of fun. So I feel like I did a lot of work my last outing here in the UK, media-wise. It was a huge fight, and the Queen had passed, so we had come out a couple times to promote the fight, and I just wanted to continue that momentum and come back out here again and put on a great performance in front of some great fans.
And why Christina Linardatou? I'm sure, look, you've been talking about it this week. It feels like there's a few reasons, but sort of confirm it. Go over it here. Why have we chosen Christina?
Well, it's interesting because I am coming off a loss, yet I still feel like I'm the greatest I've ever been. Like skill-wise, I've taken another step forward, but at the same time, it's almost like I'm taking a step back. But I didn't want that to be the case. I didn't want to take a step back when it came to my competition or my next move in the sport. So I told my team that I wanted a top competitor. I wanted a top-ranked opponent, someone who is going to challenge me and motivate me and get me back in position for a world title. So that's Christina Linardatou. She's accomplished. She's at the top, top-ranked. And I wanted to put on a good fight for the fans against a worthy opponent, and she's a worthy opponent.
She also believes she is faster than you. Thoughts?
We'll see, I guess. We'll see. You know, at this point in my career, I'm a very well-rounded fighter, and I feel like I'm one of the most versatile female fighters out there. I can box. I have a great jab. I have the height and the reach to outbox you, but you know, the way Coach Al has always trained me is not to be one-dimensional. And he, ever since I turned pro, he told me that there was going to be fighters that were going to be able to close that space and get me on the inside. And he wanted me to know how to fight on the inside as well, and to work the body and to fight in all areas of the ring. And this is my 19th pro fight, and I've had all the perfect fights to make me a well-rounded fighter, and to have practiced all those different fighting in all those different areas of the ring. So I feel like I'm complete, and wherever she wants to take it, I'm ready for that.
How do you see this fight playing out in your head when you think about it, when that first bell rings? What do you think is going to happen in there, Mikaela?
Well, if you've watched me and Christina, you know, Christina has a very aggressive come forward style. So obviously I'm the taller, leaner boxer. You're gonna see me boxing and moving, but I also have to demand some respect and sit on my shots. And there'll be moments that we'll be in close and having to let my hands go as well. So I do know it's going to be a really exciting, action-packed fight. There's not going to be a lot of, you know, downtime in the rounds. The 2-minute rounds, women's fights are 2-minute rounds. So it's going to be action-packed, but with our two styles, definitely a lot of punches.
Well, look, we can't wait for that. Christina, your final chance to say something to Mikaela. Give her a message ahead of Saturday. It can be good luck if you like, but tell her something. Anything you want to tell Mikaela?
Nothing. We're going to speak in the ring. We're going to talk in the ring.
Mikaela, you going to do any talking outside the ring first?
You know, I know it might be a little different. The rivalry between, you know, me and Baumgartner was so big and so built up, but, you know, that was real. That was genuine. The only thing I really know about Linardatou is what I've studied about her during training camp and watching her fight. So, you know, I appreciate her and her team coming out here and taking on the challenge, and I just hope to put on a good fights for the fans. That's what I'm about. I want to always give the fans fights that they want to see, and so I think that Linardatou is a great opponent for that, and it's going to be a great, exciting night of boxing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. It is a fantastic co-feature bout, WBC Interim Lightweight Championship on the line. Mikaela Mayer, a comeback fight, well, kind of a comeback fight against Christina Mayer-Linardatou, former two-time world champion. Mikaela Mayer, of course, former unified super featherweight champion. George, I'm going to come back to you here to kind of tell us about this incredible heavyweight fight. It feels like it's high risk for Joe Joyce. What is the significance of this fight for the winner?
Joe sits here as the WBO interim champion, and what that means is the current holder, being Alexander Usyk, has to, via the rotational system set by the sanctioning bodies, he's got to go through his mandatory challenges, of which one of them is Joe. And if Joe comes through this, the holder of that belt, which at this moment in time is Usyk, but by the time he's fought Daniel Dubois, maybe won't be, will have to defend against Joe or vacate. So the stakes couldn't be higher. This is about the winner of this fight being in a fantastic position to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. Joe's made it clear to us he wants big fights. He wants to keep progressing, keep developing, keep turning up and entertaining fans with spectacular performances. And he could have done this a much easier route. We could have gone and looked at maybe another type of fight like we did when we obviously had to fight Christian Hammer, that type of thing, just to keep things going. But he didn't. You know, we spoke with Adam, spoke with Joe, and obviously with his training team. Said no, we want a short list of difficult fights. We want tough tests. Zhilei was one of those, and they were very easy to deal with. This was a very interestingly well put together deal that wasn't complicated, wasn't hours of negotiations. It was quite simplistic, and that is a testament to both guys, because they're here to entertain, and they know that the winner comes through this and has a significant momentum in the heavyweight division. So there is a lot at risk.
A lot on the line. Well, let's speak to Team Zhang. Let's bring in Terry Lane. Terry, why is this the right fight at the right time for Zhilei Zhang?
Well, I think everybody saw the last fight with Hrgovic, and I think that put us in a different place, put Zhilei in a different place. We won that fight. Everybody saw it. And just like Joe, Zhilei runs towards a challenge. Neither guy is a spring chicken. There's not a lot of time to get done what we want to get done, and that thing is to win a world title. A win over Joe Joyce would put us in the upper echelon in the heavyweight division. I think we're already there. I see this guy spar in the gym. I think I know what's going to happen. And this was a really easy fight to make. The Warrens, Queensberry have been great. We've been very, very well looked after. We love London, great fight town. I'm just so lucky to be working on a fight in London. It's been a dream of mine for a long time. I turned 40 yesterday, or 30-10 as I like to say. And so this is a great birthday present if we get a win, and I think we will. And I do want to say thank you to Tommy Lane, my brother, Scott Schaefer, Veronica Soto, Sean George, Zhilei, and my partner Kurt Lee. This is the first bout we've been involved in since the passing of my dad in December, and you guys have helped us through that way more than you'll ever know. And so the last few months have been tough, but this fight has been a nice distraction, and I'm so excited for Saturday. It's not going to be boring. You have two big men, two big punchers, taking a huge risk. It's just going to be fireworks. You don't need much of a build-up for this fight. You have you don't need a villain. You don't need a hero. This fight sells itself. And I think there's only one more thing to say, and that's let's get it on.
Well, I'll stay on you for one more moment, because you said something in there, very nice words there as well, Terry. You said something in there about you think you know what's going to happen. Well, you haven't told us. What do you think is actually going to happen in there when that first bell rings?
Well, I want to keep some secrets, Dev. But look, Zhilei can punch, and he's a southpaw. And I know that everybody's talking about the granite chin of Joe Joyce, and I am a Joe Joyce fan as well. I mean, I've been following his career and greatly respect Joe, but he just hasn't been in there with a puncher like Zhilei. And Zhilei does some things that are a little more nuanced than I think people have appreciated over the years. He got a chance to show it against the Hrgovic fight a little bit more, but I don't think this is going the distance.
Okay, well, thank you, Terry. Let's hear from Team Joyce. Let's hear from Adam Morley of S-Jam Boxing. Adam, great to see you, as always. Here we are again. Joe Joyce taking another hard fight, taking another risk, putting it all on the line. Why Zhang?
Yeah, look, Joe's the kind of guy who's always said to me, just whoever you put in front of me, I'm going to take them on. So, we manage a number of boxers, and Joe's the easiest guy to manage in the sense of when you have an opponent, you put it to Joe, he just says yes. But Joe's always had to take the hard route. He turned pro when he was 32. There were no, just one more fight before I take this one on. Every time we've put a challenge before him, he took on Daniel Dubois when Daniel Dubois was the hottest thing in the heavyweight division, knocking everybody out. Do you want to fight Daniel? Yes. Carlos Takam? Yes. Joseph Parker? Yes. And then we sat down with George. We wanted to defend this against a top 15 opponent, went through it. What's the best fight? Zhang. George, can we make Zhang? Yes. So every time, Joe is a true throwback fighter. When you compare Joe to the other top heavyweights out there right now, he wants to entertain the fans. He doesn't want to be, cryogenically preserved to fight in Saudi in December. This guy wants to fight now, and he wants to fight for the fans now. That's what he's doing it. And that's what boxing's about. As a sport, boxing is about entertainment and performing for the fans in this country, people getting behind people. You see it with big ticket sellers like Nathan Heaney, Johnny Fisher, Josh Warrington. They develop communities of people around them, communities in boxing who then go and watch the fights, and they live for that. And that's what Joe Joyce is doing, and that's what he's going to do. And he's going to become the top heavyweight in the world and the top heavyweight in this country. Because unlike all the others, he'll take on anyone.
Yeah, well said. Great talk, Adam. Great stuff. Might as well end there. I mean, fantastic.
There's no one here to argue with. That's the problem.
That's the thing. I mean, you mentioned to me yesterday you think the first 4 rounds, Adam, are going to be danger rounds, where Zhilei Zhang is dangerous. Everyone seems to be saying that he's dangerous early, and once you hear once you see the 5th round, you'll be relieved. Tell us more about that. Is that still the case? Have you changed your mind?
No, look, we have the greatest respect for Zhilei Zhang. We don't see him as just a big puncher. He's an Olympic silver medalist, right? There's 2 elite amateurs here. It's not just 2 massive punchers who can't box. We have the greatest respect for him. As part of our team, we have an elite setup. We have Ismail Salas, one of the best, if not the best trainer in the world. We have Larry Wade, one of the most elite strength and conditioning coaches. It's a tailor-made camp for Joe Joyce against Zhilei Zhang, who we see as one of the most dangerous opponents out there. It's going to be a tremendous fight. He's dangerous. Of course, he's dangerous early. He's dangerous the whole fight. And we have a specifically designed game plan for this fight because we respect him to the max.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Well, let's speak to the Big Bang himself, Zhilei Zhang. We've got translator, part of the team here, Kurt, as well, who hopefully will spice it up and tell him something different to what is actually being said. Let's see. We'll see. Zhilei, great to have you. You've been brilliant all week. Tell us where your head is at right now, and why is Joe Joyce the right fight for Zhilei Zhang on Saturday?
欢迎你来到伦敦。然后觉得周六的比赛为什么会挑乔伊斯呢？为什么觉得他是个正确的对手呢？
因为当时他们团队找到我们团队说愿不愿意和乔伊斯打，我说 OK 没问题。然后因为乔伊斯综合排名世界第5，然后是一个很强的对手。然后我呢又喜欢挑战强者，因为我的目标是变为强者，所以说我要打败强者之后，我才能成为强者。
So back then when both teams met each other, we just said yes and no question. For me, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to become the strongest and the best one. And I know in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's what I do.
When this fight was first made, you said on an interview you are coming to the UK and you're gonna blow up a tank. Tell us more about this.
你说你来伦敦造坦克来了，坦克怎么来的？
坦克是网友他的拳迷给他贯彻的，就是说他抗击打比较强，耐力比较强，然后说打不倒，然后击不倒，然后称为他是红坦克。然后我呢又是大爆炸，大爆炸意味着什么？摧毁一切。
So the translation of Juggernaut in Chinese is red tank. So that's what people call him. He have a tough chin, great stamina, but I'm the big bang right here. I'm bang everything.
Well, there you go. See, I had hoped we'd get something along those lines. Thank you for that. Tell me this, Zhilei. I know you bang everything, but 15 have tried to bang Joe Joyce, and 15 have tried to knock out Joe Joyce, and 15 have failed. What makes you different to everyone else?
你要爆炸一切，要爆乔伊斯哈。然后你觉得你跟他之前打过的对手有什么不一样的吗？
他的对手像帕克啊，他的最强对手帕克啊或者杜布啊，但是他们惧怕乔伊斯。你要帕克和乔伊斯打的一直从第一回合开始游走，一直在游走，一直在逃跑，然后伺机然后打一拳 OK， 然后他不与乔伊斯直接对抗。然后所以说他的拳对乔伊斯构成不了威胁，然后所以我就不一样，因为我是炸弹，我要找目标。
When you look at his previous fights, Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois, great fighters, but when you look at Joseph Parker, from round 1, he fighting scared, he fighting going backwards, he fighting running around the ring. So when it comes to direct body contact, there isn't any solid punches landed on Joe Joyce. So for me, I'm going to land my shots.
Are you the hardest puncher that Joe Joyce has faced?
你是乔伊斯遇到过拳最重的一个人吗？
应该是最重的一个，是不是到周六的比赛中，他挨到我的拳之后，我想看看他是什么反应。
I think so, but let's find out Saturday. Let's find out what's going to happen when Joe gets hit.
Okay, well, let's bring in the juggernaut. You've heard the sort of opening comments there from Zhilei Zhang. Tell us what's going on in the mind of Joe Joyce 2 days out from fighting Zhilei Zhang.
Well, in the mind of Joe Joyce, there's obviously the great big fight that's coming this Saturday, so that's in the back of my mind. But right now, there's, I'm just listening to all the comments and piecing together what I'm gonna do in the ring on Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to this fight. It's why I like boxing. It's like all this, all the crowd and everything, and the excitement. Like I take myself away to Vegas to train my body, and technique and everything to come and bring back here and put on a show and deliver on great fights. And this is what this is exciting, and this is like the calm before the storm. Like, we do all this talking now, but then we'll go back to the room and then you get ready for the little bits I've missed in the video we're going to go and have a look at, and then see fight night is when it goes down. You get ready, you get your boots on, your wraps done, your gloves on, and you get in the ring and you go and fight, and that's what is exciting, and that's what I love, and especially when I got a big challenge like Big Bang over there. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Why is it that you're always running towards these fights? You're picking the hard fights. It's always high risk for Joe Joyce. It feels like snakes and ladders. And the snakes that you could fall down always seem very long. Why are you always walking towards the fire, Joe?
Because that's... I don't know. That's because I'm the juggernaut. No, I do. I'm a tough man. I started rugby a long time. I've gone from all the sports, and I've finally found my sport in boxing. And it's like it's the whole package. Like, it's everything, that all the ingredients that go to make a great champion, and that's what I want to be. And I'm just right close there. I got the WO interim. I don't know how close I can be to a world title. All the others seem to be running scared or doing their own little thing. But I want the fight to happen. But I've got how the things work with the governing bodies and that, and I can only just fight what is put in front of me. So why not fight a good fight and get everyone entertained and fight Zhilei Zhang over there and have a great fight and beat him, and then I can go and challenge the rest of them.
At the Grand Arrivals the other night, Joe, and that was wonderfully said, by the way. At the Grand Arrivals the other night, you said to me a kind of a twist on an old boxing phrase. You said to me, "Everyone has a plan until they punch me in the face and nothing happens." Do you think you break your opponent's heart in there?
Yeah, I throw lots of shots. They hit me. They've been planning a certain shot. They hit me with it. Nothing happens, and I'm like, now what do we do?
Do you think, though, with Zhang, because he is a big puncher and he said himself he will hit you very hard, do you think you have to box a little bit more measured, maybe like you did against Daniel Dubois, or can you just walk straight forward and juggernaut him? What are you thinking?
No, I respect Zhang's power, and I won't be going in there recklessly. But yeah, and also he's a southpaw, so that's a little bit more of a tricky style than I'm used to. So that is, I've had to, because the last person I fought was Lenroy Thomas in my full fight, which that was for the Commonwealth title, which was in history, really quick. I've only had 15 fights, 14 knockouts, so I'm in some proper fights and give everyone the value for money.
Joe, you mentioned something to me yesterday at the workout, right? You said, you're wary of his power. You're also wary of the hook to the back of the head, is what you said to me. You said that's the shot that knocked down Hrgović. Is this actually something that's sort of on your mind in the team? Are you concerned about this?
No, I'm not concerned about it, but I noticed it when I watched the Hrgović fight back that he hit with the hooks to the back of the head. But that was just a comment. It's not like, I'm shaking in my boots at night about it.
The general feeling is that the first 4 rounds or so, he'll be very dangerous, and then your tank will take over. That's every podcast that I listen to talking about this fight says that. Do you sort of agree with that? Is that how you're reading this fight?
I don't know. There's many ways I could win. It could go all the way to because Zhang to me looks tough, because I know Hrgovic's good and hit him with some good shots as well, but he wasn't going anywhere, so it could go 12 rounds. You never know. But I don't plan on doing that because it's a long time to be in the ring. Prefer to get him out sooner. Yeah.
Well, let me ask Zhang on that as well. Zhilei, Joe Joyce says he doesn't really want to be in there for 12 rounds. Do you want to be in there 12 rounds or?
No, so My trainer from Brooklyn. 我教练教会我要学会从他一直在教我怎么样从别人手中把东西抢回来。
My trainer right there, he's from Brooklyn, and he taught me where to take things we don't ask for it.
所以说这次来到伦敦，我是要抢东西的，我不是来观光的。
So I'm not here in London to sightseeing to visit everybody. I'm here to take things.
Isn't that stealing?
我害怕，我就不来了。
I won't be here if I'm scared.
Zhilei, tell me this. Again, it's the same thing. A lot of people are saying if this fight goes past 4 rounds, you will get tired and he will take over. Why are people saying this? Is it true?
很多人说4个回合之后啊，你的体能会下降，他的体能会增加。你觉得是真的吗？
这应该是一种谣言吧。然后我跟赫格维奇打，然后打到第11回合，我也没感觉我的体能很差。然后第11回合的时候，我还在不停的在进攻，对不对？体能会差吗？11回合如果很差的话，11个回合也不会再疯狂的进攻。
I think it's a misunderstanding. When you go back and watch my fight with Hergovich, at the 11th round, I was throwing combos, I was throwing bombs. So I think it's a misunderstanding.
到第12回合的时候，我感觉我就可以放一放，因为第12个回合就是我给他让他赢第12回合，然后我也感觉那场比赛我赢了。
And at the 12th round, I think I already got the fight. So I kind of relaxed, and that's what everybody got the impression from.
Okay, well, look, let's go back to the juggernaut. Joe, you were the first man to stop Joseph Parker in your last fight. Will you be the first man to stop Zhilei Zhang on Saturday night?
Yeah, I hope so. God willing, I get the job done earlier, and it's not a long, grueling fight, and I have to take big bangs, too many big bangs anyway.
Let's hope not. And Zhilei, your final message to Joe Joyce ahead of Saturday. What would you like to tell him?
最后跟他说一句话吧。
紧张的魔鬼般的训练营已经结束了，然后周六我们就好好享受我们的比赛。
Hard training is over. Let's enjoy Saturday.
Yeah.
Over to you, Joe. Final thing.
Hen Hao. Yeah, let's fight. Let's do this.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We'll be live on BT Sport 1 from 7 o'clock on Saturday night. We are live, of course, on ESPN Plus in the States as well. Mouth-watering card. We can't wait for it. We're going to do some face-offs, so stay tuned. Are we tucking them in, Matt? The chairs? No, we're moving them out. So if you guys just take a step back. So just drop these on the floor.
No, we're doing yeah, the girls first, please. So Joe, you wait a second. Yeah. Okay, Mikaela and Christina, please. Can we look at the canvas first?
Here, please.
So straight down here.
Down here, please.
Steve, stick her up. Steve, give me a signal when.
Yeah, cheers.
Face off, please.
Face off, please. Thank you. That's fine, thank you.
Thank you. And now Joyce and Zhilei.
Something a bit closer, please. Thank you.
Face off.
Let's go. Thank you. Done. Well done.
All on Joyce.
In boxing, the heavyweight division always hits the hardest. Whilst Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk hold all the jewels, one contender stands alone as the biggest threat to the champions.
Everybody